The Bahamas is a place many people dream of. It's a chain of sun-kissed islands, surrounded by water so clear it looks like liquid turquoise. For generations, Bahamians have built their lives in this paradise. Their homes nestled along pristine coastlines, their livelihoods tied to the rhythms of the sea. But there is a shadow that looms over this idyllic picture, a threat that grows larger and more menacing with each passing year. This threat arrives with the wind and the rain. It is the hurricane, a force of nature so powerful it can tear apart everything in its path, turning a dream destination into a scene of utter devastation in just a few hours. For the people of the Bahamas, hurricane season is not just a weather forecast. It is a period of deep anxiety and fear. It is a time when families listen intently to every storm update, their hearts pounding with a familiar dread. They know what a Category 5 storm can do. They have seen it firsthand. The memories of past hurricanes are etched into the collective consciousness of the nation. These are not distant stories, but recent, painful realities that have reshaped the landscape and left scars on communities. The howling winds, the rising waters, and the terrifying wait for dawn are experiences no one can ever forget. The problem is getting worse. Scientists tell us that climate change is making hurricanes stronger, wetter, and more destructive than ever before. The ocean, which has always been the lifeblood of the Bahamas, is now becoming its greatest adversary. As global temperatures rise, the seas are expanding and creeping higher up the shores. This means that when a hurricane strikes, the storm surge, a massive wall of water pushed inland by the storm, is more catastrophic than in the past. It floods homes, contaminates freshwater supplies, and washes away roads and infrastructure, leaving communities isolated and vulnerable. This escalating danger has forced the Bahamas to a critical turning point. The old ways of preparing for storms are no longer enough. Boarding up windows and stocking up on supplies provides some protection, but it cannot stop a 15-foot storm surge from inundating an entire island. The nation faces an existential question. How can you protect your people when the very land they live on is under constant threat of being swallowed by the sea? The search for an answer has pushed the Bahamas to look beyond traditional solutions and embrace an idea so bold, so futuristic, that it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. When your home is on the front lines of the climate crisis, you cannot afford to wait for others to solve your problems. You must innovate, or you risk losing everything. This is the stark reality for the Bahamas. After the unprecedented destruction caused by Hurricane Dorian in 2019, a storm that stalled over the islands of Abaco and Grand Bahama for nearly 2 days, it became painfully clear that a new approach was desperately needed. The storm's fury laid bare the extreme vulnerability of island nations. It was a wake-up call that echoed across the archipelago, igniting a determined search for radical, long-term solutions to ensure the survival of the Bahamian people and their way of life. This search has led to a groundbreaking vision, the world's first hurricane-proof floating city. The idea is as simple as it is revolutionary. If you cannot stop the sea from rising, why not rise with it? Instead of building on land that is prone to flooding, why not build on the water itself? This is not just a theoretical concept or a distant dream. It is a tangible project, backed by serious architects, engineers, and even the United Nations. The plan is to construct a series of interconnected platforms that float on the ocean's surface, creating a resilient, self-sustaining community designed to withstand the most powerful storms nature can unleash. Imagine a city that doesn't fear the hurricane's wrath. When a storm approaches, this city doesn't evacuate, it endures. Its floating foundations are engineered to be incredibly stable, bobbing gently on the waves instead of being battered by them. The buildings are designed to resist ferocious winds, and the entire community is equipped to be self-sufficient, generating its own power and food. This is the promise of the floating city, a safe harbor in the middle of a storm, a place where families can feel secure even as the tempest rages around them. It represents a fundamental shift in how we think about coastal living. This ambitious endeavor is more than just an engineering marvel. It is a symbol of hope. For a nation that has suffered so much, it offers a proactive path forward. a way to adapt to a changing planet rather than simply reacting to its disasters. The Bahamas is not just trying to rebuild what was lost, it is trying to build a future that is safer, more sustainable, and more resilient. By exploring the concept of a floating city, this small island nation is positioning itself at the forefront of climate adaptation, offering a potential blueprint for other vulnerable coastal communities around the world who are facing the same rising tides. The Bahamas faces an invisible force, climate change, that's turning paradise into a danger zone. Warmer oceans fuel stronger hurricanes, and rising seas threaten to erase these islands. For the Bahamas, climate change isn't a distant threat. It's a daily crisis, reshaping life and the very land itself. In 2019, Hurricane Dorian became the Bahamas' ultimate nightmare, exploding into a Category 5 monster with 185 mph winds. For nearly 40 hours, Abaco and Grand Bahama endured relentless wind, rain, and storm surge, leaving devastation beyond belief. Dorian was the Bahamas' worst natural disaster, a brutal warning of our climate future. Hurricane Dorian exposed the Bahamas' greatest vulnerability. Most of the nation is barely above sea level, built on land borrowed from the sea. Critical infrastructure and homes sit in the most at-risk coastal zones, threatened by storms and rising tides. The floating city project isn't a fantasy. It's a bold response to a future where the only safe ground may be the water itself. After Hurricane Dorian, the Bahamas looked beyond rebuilding, toward reinvention. The Oceanics floating city emerged, a modular, storm-proof community that rides the waves, not resists them. Powered by green technology and designed for resilience, it's a bold vision, proving coastal cities can thrive in harmony with the ocean, even as the climate changes. Oceanics is building floating cities for a sustainable future, led by visionary architects and engineers. With rising sea levels and crowded coastlines, we need new places to live. Partnering with the Bahamas and the United Nations, Oceanics is pioneering a resilient, self-sustaining city on water. Imagine living in a vibrant green floating city, lush islands connected by walkways and electric boats, powered by clean energy, and built for people, not cars. The city blends with turquoise waters, features sustainable buildings, green roofs, and thriving community spaces, an innovative, eco-friendly future on the ocean. The magic of a floating city starts with its foundation, buoyant, hollow platforms made from biorock, a material that grows stronger over time. Hexagonal shapes, inspired by nature, fit together for strength and stability, dissipating wave energy. As storms and sea levels rise, the city floats up too, staying safe above the surge, adapting with the ocean. Floating cities must stay anchored even in storms. Advanced tethers connect platforms to the seabed, balancing strength and flexibility, like deep-sea oil rigs. These anchors keep the city secure, while biorock foundations help coral thrive, turning supports into artificial reefs. It's a system designed for safety and harmony with the ocean. Once the city is floating and anchored, the real test is surviving the fiercest storms on Earth. Buildings are designed with curved aerodynamic shapes and kept under 7 stories, letting hurricane winds flow over them instead of smashing into flat walls. Materials are both lightweight and tough. Think reinforced bamboo, timber, and ultra-strong composites. Impact-resistant glass and tightly engineered seals make every building a fortress against wind and debris. The city's honeycomb layout acts as a giant breakwater, with outer platforms absorbing wave energy and protecting the calmer inner channels. This design keeps boats safe and neighborhoods connected, even during a storm. Self-sufficiency is key. Solar panels, water desalination, and waste recycling keep the city running off-grid. Vertical farms and ocean-based food sources ensure residents have fresh food, no matter what. Even after a hurricane, the city can keep the lights on and water flowing. It's not just about surviving the storm, it's about thriving in its aftermath. Behind this bold vision is a team of innovators, Oceanics, led by Mark Collins Chen, and the architects at Bjarke Ingels Group. For Chen, the project is personal. He's seen the threat of rising seas firsthand and wants to protect vulnerable communities. Bjarke Ingels and his team bring a philosophy of hedonistic sustainability, making green cities that are also vibrant and fun. Their goal isn't just survival, but creating a new kind of city, lush, human-centered, and deeply connected to the water. The Bahamas project is a prototype, meant to be adapted and replicated worldwide, each city reflecting its local culture and needs. This isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, but a flexible blueprint for coastal cities everywhere. The project is a statement of hope, an answer to climate anxiety with bold adaptation and innovation. Instead of retreating from the ocean, these builders are embracing it as humanity's next frontier. They believe we can shape a resilient future, not just endure a changing planet. One floating platform at a time, they're proving that we can be the architects of our own survival. This floating city is powered by a global alliance: Oceanics, the United Nations, the Bahamian government, and top experts. UN Habitat sees the project as a real-world answer to climate displacement, aiming to house millions of future climate refugees. For the Bahamas, it's about survival and leadership, turning vulnerability into resilience and opportunity. MIT engineers, sustainability experts, and marine biologists all contribute, ensuring the city is safe, sustainable, and eco-friendly. Radical collaboration is the core principle. No single group can solve climate challenges alone. Governments, innovators, and local communities must work together, breaking down silos. The project is a model for global partnership, public, private, and non-profit sectors united by a common goal. By pooling expertise, they're pioneering solutions for a livable future on a changing planet. This coalition isn't just building a city, they're building a blueprint for survival. Together, they're proving that collective action can turn crisis into opportunity. Oceanics isn't starting from scratch. They're learning from floating communities around the world. The Netherlands, with its floating neighborhoods, has taught the importance of stable foundations and flexible infrastructure. Dutch projects also highlight the need for strong community ties, not just engineering prowess. The Bahamian city's hexagonal layout and public spaces are inspired by these lessons, aiming for a connected, vibrant community. Ancient wisdom comes from the Euros people of Lake Titicaca, who've lived on floating reed islands for centuries. Their use of renewable materials and constant adaptation inspires Oceanics' regenerative approach. The team also learns from past smart city failures, avoiding top-down planning and focusing on co-design with residents. Starting small and letting the community shape its future ensures the city stays human-centered. By blending Dutch engineering, Euros sustainability, and lessons from modern cities, Oceanics grounds its vision in real-world experience. This mix of old and new makes the project robust, practical, and truly innovative. Building a hurricane-proof floating city is inspiring, but it comes with massive costs. Advanced materials, anchoring systems, and self-sustaining infrastructure push the price tag into the billions. Funding such a project requires deep-pocketed investors and creative public-private partnerships. Affordability is a real concern. The city must serve local Bahamian families, not just the wealthy elite. Builders are exploring subsidies and innovative ownership models to keep housing accessible. Economic sustainability is another challenge. The city needs a diverse, resilient economy beyond tourism and external funding. Insurance is tricky too. Proving the city's safety to skeptical underwriters is essential for investment and mortgages. The risks are high. A single failure could threaten the entire concept of floating cities. The pressure to succeed is immense, but the rewards could redefine how we live with water. If they get it right, this city could be a model for climate resilience worldwide. Building a floating city isn't just about structures. It's about creating a real community with shared spaces and a sense of belonging. The challenge is connecting this new city to the Bahamas, not isolating it. Floating cities help us adapt, but they don't solve climate change itself. The Bahamas floating city is more than engineering. It's a bold response to climate change. By rising with the tide, not against it, the Bahamas offers hope for all coastal communities. This project is a real-world lab for building sustainable, resilient communities, showing the world what's possible when we innovate together.